What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm back with another video, and don't forget, I am here to break down modern day events so we can understand and trace their implications back down to the earlier source, because our people have been operating and existing under a considerable disadvantage because we are unable to recognize or even understand the evil that is being inflicted upon us and upon our people. But the Heavenly Mother has given me eyes to see, ears to hear, and I'm here to deliver the message to you guys. Okay, so let's just jump right on in. This new book that we have is called The Curse of Canaan. And again, shout out to Big Judah for uncovering this book. It is a gem, and I thank you. So this book is about the curse of Canaan. Canaan would be the son of Ham, Noah's grandson. Now, I want to make this very clear that we are not speaking about Cain, C-A-I-N. We are speaking about Canaan, C-A-N-A-A-N, Ham's son. And I have to make that distinction because you can get confused with the interchangeable names and the pronunciations. So we are speaking of Ham's son. Now, we all know there has been a war against Shem, aka the Negroes, or God's children. There has been a war against us for a very long time. And you might ask yourself, why and who? Well, grab your popcorn, grab your drink, because we going back to the beginning of Noah and the ark and the antediluvian world, which means pre-flood. So Noah was commanded by the Most High to build the ark to escape catastrophe that was impending on the world because of their transgressions against the Most High. I think we can all agree to that. Well, we all know that Noah and his 3 sons were on aboard of this ark. Well, let me tell you, Ham punk ass ended up doing something so egregious that again transgressed against the Most High on the ark. Noah was given specific instructions, okay? And one of those instructions was not to have intercourse on the ark because of the limited space. Now, it says that Ham had intercourse with a pre-Adamite woman on the ark, a dark-skinned person, and their offspring was a black son named Cush, who became the symbol of Ethiopia. Now, a pre-Adamite person is just a person that's not of the Most High's bloodline. And remember, bloodlines are very important. And the reason why bloodlines are important is because through blood you can pass down certain genetic codes, and as well as different inferiorities. Okay, so the Most High was trying to keep the bloodline pure, but Ham had intercourse with a pre-Adamite woman who probably was a low-level thinker, kind of like a Lilith spirit. And I also want to point out how they said that this came from a black or a dark-skinned woman. Notice how they didn't say Negro, because Negro and black skin are 2 types of different people. And there's another connection that I made. I did an older video about some history in Ireland, and I spoke about Noah and his ark. I spoke about a woman named Sisera who asked and begged and pleaded with Noah to get on the ark, and Noah turned her away. Why? Because she was a pre-Adamite woman. Now, I'm wondering if this is the same woman that Ham had intercourse with. Just a thought. Now, because of Ham's transgression, Noah was stressed the hell out because of it, because he specifically told him the Most High's rules and he went against it. So Noah thought he was going to get in trouble. So that's what made him drink. And the whole drunk story, this is why he was drunk. Now, here's where I need you guys to clutch your visible pearls because it's about to get ratchet. Now, Canaan, Noah's grandson, saw Noah drunk laying in his tent, right, y'all? So what you think Canaan did? Nah, Canaan did some type of homosexual advances or an act upon Noah, which caused Noah to bring down the thunder on his ass. I mean, you gotta ask yourself, what the hell made Noah so damn upset to where he put a curse out there after the flood? Everything's supposed to be good in the hood. But no, he out here cursing people. Why? Because something so terrible must have happened. And this is what the book suggests. The book says, Noah was greatly infuriated by what had taken place, and he pronounced a curse on Canaan. Cursed be Canaan, a slave of slaves, shall he be to his brothers, Shem and Japheth. Now remember the order, Shem and Japheth would be Canaan's uncles. Okay, and remember, they ended up covering Noah with a blanket or some type of covering to cover their father up from the nakedness. But peep the two energies. Shem and Japheth have a kind, loving energy. They didn't think to laugh or mock him. They just thought, okay, let me cover my father up. And Ham, based on his behaviors of going against the Most High's rules, shows you the type of mentality he had as well. And he must have been hanging around those pre-Adamite people as well, because how else he find that woman? Okay, so just pay attention to the mentalities of these three brothers and their children. The book further reads, Canaan had done something so degrading that Noah had to pronounce a curse upon him. What have this been? The Bible, presently translated, does not really give us a clue. These scholars decided that Canaan, not bound by the rigid moral code of Adamites, had probably committed a homosexual act on his grandfather. Remember I told you about bloodlines, okay? He probably committed a homosexual act on his grandfather. Being of pure stock, Noah, okay, would have been exceedingly wroth at such an act and would have reacted in the way that he did. Now do you see why the Most High gave us a strict law about mixing? Because when you mix with a low-level spirit, they must revert to doing homosexual acts and low-level things. You know what I mean? The way they think, the way they act, how they carry themselves, how they move in the world is always going to reflect a low-level thinker. Okay, moving on. It says the curse of Canaan was extended to the land which named after him, the land of Canaan. The Canaanites themselves, the people of this land, became the greatest curse upon humanity, and so they remain today. Okay, it further says how the Canaanites originated the practices of demon worship, occult rites, child sacrifice, and cannibalism. Okay, they took these practices with them as they traveled to different lands. So what this book is saying is that the Negro, aka Shem, his current enemy today would be the modern day Canaanites. Now remember my last two videos, I was breaking down the history of the wild men that we are currently thinking is the YT people. Now here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the original Canaanites created the wild men 3/5 person as a front for all of their depravity, and the real Canaanites are the shadow government. But see, because of the Canaanite mentality, which is always to hate Shem and his people, have a deep hatred for us. The YT people, aka the wild men, made a covenant with the Canaanites to go against our people. Unbeknownst to the YT people, they didn't know just how demonic the Canaanites are, but they took upon that cloak because of their groomed hatred for our people. You see what I'm saying? Now, excuse my language, but remember white supremacists would say how they hated niggers, spics, and Jews. Now do you see what I'm saying? The Jews would be these Canaanites. Okay? Now you see why the YT man, aka the wild man, had a disdain for the Jews, aka Canaanites. If you do deeper research into the Jim Crow era, white supremacists made it clear that they did not approve of the Canaanite, aka Jews' behavior, the demonic behaviors that they were practicing. They wasn't down with that. Because remember, once upon a time, the YT wild men could live around the Negro and everything would be fine. We just had your space over there, we had our space over there. But it wasn't until the Canaanites got involved, okay, because there's a whole deep dive into the whole movie. That the movie is called The Birth of a Nation. And I remember learning that this movie was created by a Canaanite, aka Jew, because there was tension between these Jews and the YT people, okay? But to get the heat off of the fake Jews, they made the movie Birth of a Nation and put the spotlight on black people and how black people were the ones to be feared instead of them. And that is what made the YT man kind of turn against the Negro. Okay, I'm going to pause it here and we can get more into this book in the next video because you guys, this book is deep and I'm going to take you guys on this journey with me because we must understand who we're dealing with, because the Most High ordained us to show no mercy to these enemies, okay? Show no mercy to these Canaanites. And we are going to ruffle some feathers by getting to the truth. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Don't forget to like, share, leave a comment, and I will catch you guys in the next video.